Right, g'day guys. My name's Andrew Sparke. I'm the baby-faced chairman of a company called QMines. We're about 4.5 years old now, so many of you probably have come across us. I'm the founder of the business. We listed in May of 21, and I want one thing to take away from this presentation is that we're a young and dynamic team, and we move. Okay, and I really mean that. You know, 7 resource updates, PFSs, maiden reserve statements, bought 5 rural properties at the project. We are just absolutely moving fast, okay? So we've got 2 rigs on site at the moment, and we've got a lot of results that are imminent, and I mean imminent. We've got a very large drilling program going on at our new Develin Creek high-grade copper and zinc project. I'll get to in a second, but this is a team that moves. Let's see. All right, so very simple story. Obviously Queensland born and bred. Many of you will know the regional town of Rockhampton, okay? Big town right on the coast. And do not underestimate location in the mining business, okay? I ran a fund for a long time, saw a lot of opportunities, and location is a really important part of these, what I'd call a low capital advantage, okay? Our flagship project, which is closest to the coast, is called Mount Chalmers. It's what we listed on. It's a high-grade copper and gold project. It's a former mine, which is really important. It means it worked, okay? It made a lot of money, generated a lot of value for a lot of people, okay? As I said, it's only 20 k's out of Rockhampton, 80,000 person town, 8 flights in and out a day. You know, we don't have to fly in and fly out to, Parapadu or, all these iron ore mines. It's just simple, okay? So we've got this real low capex advantage, lots and lots of infrastructure. We've got everything we need to build a modern day, high-grade copper and gold mine in Queensland. We've recently also purchased 2 other assets. So our Develin Creek project, you can see in the middle there, where we've got 3 resources, is a recent acquisition we completed end of last year, and just only a couple of months ago we completed the Mount Mackenzie acquisition, which is another high grade. This one's more gold and silver focus, which gives our shareholders a lot more leverage to that high, rising gold price. So we are now the dominant landowner in this region. M&A is a big part of our focus. We really believe that's a lever we can pull to really accelerate business plans. But we've also got a very aggressive exploration profile, which I'll get to in a second. So fantastic jurisdiction, lots of infrastructure, lots of resources, and we're really leading the charge in Central Queensland. Okay, quick overview, 470 million shares, 24.4 million market cap as it closed yesterday at 5.2 cents. Thank you for all those guys who've been coming around the booth, who bought the stock up today. We got to 5.6. We're on a tear. This is really moving, okay? So appreciate everyone's support. As you can see, very tight capital structure, very, very tight, and that's important, okay? I call this the architecture for success, okay? 50% of our shares are owned by our top 20, okay? I put over $1 million in this business. We mean what we say and we say what we do. We're very large shareholders in our own business. We want this to work, okay? And that tight capital structure allows this stock price to move when we get a little bit of buying, okay? So you can see that if you go and have a look at the stock price now, it's starting to really, really move, which is fantastic. Well funded, 3.8 million in cash at the end of the quarter. Since the end of the quarter, we've now brought in another $1.5 million, so we're fully funded and going very, very well. And look, I need to acknowledge our team. Okay, we're a smaller business. Okay, but we are moving fast, and it's largely because we've got a fantastic team, okay? And I call them the doers, okay? So Pete Caristo's here in the audience. He's a great member of the team, a geologist, chairman of the AIG. We've got Benny here in the third row. Nice to have you here, Benny, our head driller. We've really got a great team. Everyone owns stock in the business. We're all in this together, and we work really well together. So we're doers, okay? Also, I want to acknowledge a couple of our great supporters. Okay, we've got a fantastic register. We've got 2 very large shareholders there. I won't mention their names, but they know who they are. They've been great supporters, and we really appreciate all their help. this is our track record. So time to get a bit excited, all right? So as I said, we move, okay? Find me a company that's pushed out 7 resource updates in 4 years, you know? I challenge you. We are really passionate about this business, okay? And we've really vertically integrated our business to achieve this, you know, this sort of success, okay? So we own our own drilling rig, we own our own drilling company, we've bought all the farms around these mines, which really de-risk that path to production. We do things differently, and at 25 million market cap today, we're completely asset-backed with our cash, with our 7 rural properties and 2 houses, with our drilling company. So fantastic opportunity. We're asset-backed. You know, I really think we're on for a good run here. Now, we've got more M&A we'd like to do in this region. We want to be the dominant group in this region, okay? So we are looking at this very aggressively. We've also got a very aggressive accretive growth profile. We've got 2 rigs on site at the moment. We've just moved off our 3rd rig. And there's a lot of drilling to do, and those results are imminent, and I mean imminent. So watch this space. Go and have a look at the news we've pushed out this quarter. You know, again, I'd challenge you to find a company that's pushed out what we've pushed out this quarter. You know, resource upgrades, optimisations, you name it, we've done it. So go and have a good look at the news flow. It is rife, and it's not going to stop. Now, I think this is important. Let's just step back for a second and give everyone a little bit of context, okay? The copper space, there is deep underlying value here, okay? Everyone's seen gold run. It's gone, you know, particularly well in the last couple of you know, last probably year and a half. But copper, you know, apart from the producers who've done okay, I wouldn't say fabulous, but they've done okay. You start coming down to the developers and the explorers, and it's been, let's be honest, let's you know, call out the cat in the room. It's been tough for 2 or 3 years, and you know, when I was running the fund and looking at a lot of opportunities, we always, you know, looked at things that were undervalued. And I think when you see a company that's invested, you know, almost 50 million bucks in this business over the last 4 years and is trading at 25 million market cap, that tells you there's deep underlying value in this space, okay? Now, the great thing for you guys is that there's actually been a lot of M&A recently creeping into this area, okay? So many of you have seen Rex Minerals being bought out by a large Indonesian family office at you know, a big premium. Many of you have seen the tussle for New World Resources, again, a very big control premium, you know, US-based group. And many of you will have seen Harmony recently bidding 1.5 billion for Metals Acquisition Corp. So it's started. Okay, and there's not many left. Okay, there really isn't many left stocks in this copper space, or quality copper stocks. So I'd encourage you to have a very close look at this copper development space. You know, it has been a tough period, but therein lies the opportunity. There is really deep underlying value in this space. Now, as for QMines, we're 25 million market cap. We've already published a PFS showing that we're taking this through to production. We did that in April last year. We're now looking at doubling it. Don't tell anyone, keep it quiet. We're looking at doubling the scale of the plant, doubling the scale of the resource, and doubling the scale of the reserve, okay? We've recently completed 2 new acquisitions. This is going to move, okay? Mark my words, we're on a growth run here. Okay, so there's the Mount Chalmers mine in the background. There's our drilling rig and our team, led by Benny in the front here. And this is the I suppose the deposits around Mount Chalmers. So many of you will know who followed this story that we've really put a lot of our effort into Mount Chalmers, but there are 3 other deposits around the Mount Chalmers historic mine. And when you look at this section, you'll see if you look very closely, there is a small pit at the top, but there's a lot more mineralisation underneath. And we've drilled over 50 kilometres of drilling here. We've got a very large maiden reserve statement. We've got it in PFS, and this is going to be the base load of any operation in Central Queensland. Develin Creek. All right, we've got 2 rigs going on here at the moment. We drilled out 5,000 metres at Scorpion and Window end of last year. Fantastic results, really high grade. I'd encourage you to go and have a look. Sulphide City, we're drilling at the moment. It's the biggest of the deposits. Again, very high grade. It's more copper and zinc rich. but it's really got some numbers coming. So those results are about to drop any moment, okay? And there'll be several of them. So watch this space. Lots of news on the way from Develin Creek. I expect lots of good grade, lots of good widths, and lot of stuff coming. I've got to hurry up here. I'm a bit over time. So I'll talk about our new Mount Mackenzie acquisition really quickly, okay? We've got, there it is. We've got two new deposits here, and they're high grade. All right, they're high grade, they're copper, gold and silver based, and if you want to come and talk about more, come and see us at the booth. When you come and see us at the booth, we'll talk about some of these JUL results. They're fantastic. All right, there's a quick overview. Thanks so much for everyone's time. Great to be here in Queensland, our home state. Appreciate your help.